Sorry to bother you today. We appreciate
Well, that's
it.
okay. I appreciate y'all being friendly. You get worried about people knocking on doors in the Trump administration. So thank y'all for being here. Can you let me know what it's about?
So again, I'm Detective Fike with the Lakewood Police Department.
Thank you.
Investigator Heather Fossler, working in the Joint Terrorism Task Force.
Fife, Fossler,
Yes, sir.
Terrorism Task Force. Okay,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you.
So we just wanted to have a couple questions about. You can't put that on there.
Oh, I can't.
So
what happened to free speech?
It is free speech, so that's all we want to ask. So I just want to ask. I know there's been a couple of things that you've said that you've seen in the comments and that kind of stuff. People have just getting concerned.
In the comments? Hold on a second. You guys are doing a police report on comments on an online thing?
No, if you would listen to me, I would be happy to explain.
What comments are you referring to?
So we're doing it in regards to some of the statements that you have made online, and I just want to follow up with you and see what your intention is. If you have an intention of harming anyone
Oh, no.
or anything like that. Okay.
No.
So you're allowed to.
Thanks for asking,
though.
though.
You're allowed to say whatever you want.
Thanks for that permission.
Yeah, sure. It's your First Amendment protected speech, as we've already discussed.
Okay.
Yeah, so you just say some things online that people were just concerned about, so that you had been reported to the FBI.
That's awesome. While y'all are here, I've got these trolls who've been harassing, doxing, and sexually harassing and threatening my life for 14 years on a daily basis.
Okay.
Can we get those guys investigated?
Have you reported this to law?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm glad you guys do stuff like this, but since they're on the Trump team and they never receive any consequences for anything, I haven't had much faith and trust in law enforcement.
Well,
So,
that's happening.
no, it's been going on for 12 or 13 years. I would love it if you guys would do cases on every single one of them. I don't think they're in America.
Right.
I don't think they're Americans. But the fact that they've been harassing me, and maybe that does put my mood online in a negative light, or I see all these other people getting away with things that I report them for doxing, harassing, or attempting to dox me, harassing and threatening me. Well, I guess it's obvious now. Yeah, so they've been harassing me and doxing me for 13 years. Yeah, since I started opposing Trump.
Okay. Well,
So they're a
that's
terrorist
happening to
network
you.
that I've personally seen so much evidence of the FBI enabling these terrorist networks. I don't know which one of you guys are FBI, but supposedly one person that the FBI has recently taken in was a terrorist that they were grooming for a year to do a hammer and knife attack on New Year's Eve. They made this a news story that they were going to do a hammer and knife attack. Some guy that aligned with ISIS, but the only ISIS he aligned with were 2 FBI agents. Just like the FBI paying a guy here in Denver during the Black Lives Matter protests $2,000 a week to troll the BLM protests with a hearse full of guns. Sound familiar? You know who this guy is? To try to instigate violence. So my opinion is the FBI is in the middle of every terrorist act we have in America. They just let some go to blame somebody, to make an agenda, and they stop other ones to make a headline.
Well, we're not out here trying to make a headline. I just want to have a conversation.
I mean, I
with
think you will make a headline.
That's not my intent. I just want to make sure that you're okay. I want to see if
I
there's any
appreciate
resources
that.
we can offer you. Like I said before, our main concern, some of the statements that you do, so you get a little worked up.
Can you tell me what's crossed the line? Is there a particular statement I've
The
made?
statements that we get, so I can read them to you. And we've been watching a lot of your videos just to kind of like
Well,
get
thank you.
a better understanding.
I'm glad somebody's watching it.
And some of the statements that were of
They
concern-
suppress a lot of my content, so
Okay.
I'm glad somebody
so
sees
this
it.
is the second time that you've kind of been reported for some of your statements, and they're just enough for us to come out here and just have a conversation.
I appreciate that. No, I'm like I'm all for law and order and like stopping terrorists. I'm not a terrorist,
Okay.
but we got a lot of terrorists. There's a whole lot of work to be done.
So
I
this
get a
is
lot of them
one
in my
the
life.
Statements that you said. So FBI, if you're watching, you better turn on your compadres before you all fucking get rounded up and shot.
Yeah, that's to the FBI agent, the single one who's still staying quiet because he doesn't want the people to turn on him because they're all working for the fucking KGB right now because they're all traitors. Yeah, that one whistleblower, the one guy who's still good in the entire agency, as far as I can tell, again, because the only impressions I get of the FBI is you're always involved in terrorist acts and you're either letting the person go and do it because they're a white supremacist, or you're stopping them in order to attack another marginalized group.
Okay. So
And
my question to
I
you
need
is,
an
do you
FBI
have
agent
any-
who's an American who wants to go ahead and blow that whistle. Go ahead and say, look at all these other ones doing this. And I've heard a little bit about it. I've heard people saying they're criticizing, what's his name, Kash Patel. I've heard, but it's like, Can somebody stop these terrorists? To me, Trump works for Putin and Netanyahu. They're all working together against us. It's a terrorist regime against us. The FBI knows this. Who's going to pull the plug? Did you guys vet any of his appointments? Did you stop any of his terrorists that he's appointed to all these things? No. So I have very little trust in the FBI. I think they've been compromised.
So I just want to make sure, do you have any intent on hurting it?
Oh, no.
Okay. So you, like,
I'm
some
a
of the statements,
pacifist.
like I said, some of the things get a little borderline just at the fact that
I
it
do
seems...
feel like the mood of the American people is when someone is found who is a representative of these terrorists, these traitors who have taken over our country, the animosity towards Trump will come out on that person. And that's what Trump wants. He's getting thousands of people killed in Iran right now just to use their body bags for propaganda. Why? Am I going to get, like, these guys have been doxing me for years. I just put this address that they confirmed, the address that they've been doxing for fucking years. Am I going to have some protection from these terrorists?
So with the doxing, you have to report that to local law enforcement. Okay.
Do I have to, like,
So
come
when
in and
that
file an
happens,
additional report, or can this
there's a lot
count?
of it you can do online. If you have actual factual information, I'm happy to go through that.
I
But
mean, I've got hundreds of screenshots.
Yeah, you might want to go through it and kind of regulate everything in. The important thing about the doxing and that kind of stuff, when it happens, it needs to be reported as soon as possible so that they
Oh,
can
they'll
act
do it
on
again.
Sometimes, I understand that, but sometimes, you know, online, people change their names and that kind of stuff, and they make it harder for people to follow and travel on and try to figure out that information. So you just need to report it when it's happening so that law enforcement can actually do something about it. And we can start a little paper trail
Well,
for you.
it's been happening, so
But
yeah.
you're using those screenshots though.
Yeah, and I've got a lot of the chats you can recreate from the live feeds. You can just look through the live
So
feeds.
just-
I mean, there's
would go back
been
through
hundreds
and
of
collect
them.
information and then go and report that, but you should report
But
it.
I mean, what do you guys do to people in Istanbul or whatever? I mean, most 90% of these trolls
If
are
it's
not
a
in
crime-
America.
If it's a crime and there's something we can do, there's something that will be done. Okay, that's just how the law works. As of right now, we're just worried about you, and I am out here for a specific
I
thing
appreciate
to
that.
check in on you to see. Do you have any weapons or anything
Oh
inside your
no,
house?
I'm not a violent. I don't believe in weapons. I'm not a.
So you've
I'm a
made
pacifist.
a couple comments about killing the president, not you yourself, but you've alluded that you
Well,
want the
somebody
president killed.
probably will.
But you have no intention of doing that, sir.
No, I'll bake a cake though,
What
because
does that mean?
I'm
when
sorry.
it happens, I'm sorry. Is that what you mean? When it happens, you would bake a cake to celebrate? Is that what you mean?
I'm an American.
Okay. I'm just trying to understand what you mean, sir. I don't want to take your words out of context, and I just want to completely understand what you're trying to tell me so that we can leave on the same page. That's all.
I think that we have a traitor. I think that we have a network of traitors. I think the legal penalty, if we want to follow the law, the legal penalty for this treason, for siding with a foreign power, Putin, destroying our country, invading Europe, deciding to invade Europe from the west, to help Putin invading from the east. I think we should be rallying European Americans and all Americans and everyone against Trump and Putin and Netanyahu. The people with the legal authority to execute him for his crimes should do that. That's the natural consequence of treason.
Okay. But you have no intent of
Of
trying
course
to execute
not.
him. You have no intent of
No.
trying to execute or harm anybody else.
Of course not.
Okay. And you have no guns or weapons inside your house.
No.
And you have never tried to make a bomb or build a
Oh,
bomb.
no,
or anything like
no.
that? Okay. Just so I'm understanding it, and you correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of your propaganda is just online and it's just you voicing your opinion. Is that correct?
I don't know. I don't understand. What's the alternative? I voiced my opinion.
I guess, are you trying to create a group of people to go
Not-
out and
nobody
do something?
likes me.
Okay.
Like I've got. I mean, I'm no offense, but like I've got extremely American views. America has become Russia too. Like we're a captured company. I call the FBI the team of the KGB. You've probably seen it because you're not as good at the KGB at it, but you're doing a lot of misinformation to manufacture consent for concentration camps, sex trafficking. Why is Trump going to try to take citizenship away from thousands of babies other than to kidnap those babies for his sex trafficking ring? And they always project, they're always saying it's somebody else. So you guys probably don't want sex trafficking rings. How can you not have stopped at least Trump's associates? You guys know who they are. You've read them in the files.
So just for what it's worth, as someone who's been behind the curtain, so to speak, on the other side for 8 years now. That's not what I'm saying, all right? And I would be very sensitive to that, and I would be very offended by anything that indicated and even kind of suggested
that you're
that
protecting
stuff
sex
was-
traffickers?
that was going on.
Wait.
So that's, I know you're. on
You
the
don't
other
like
side
the
of
offense
curtain
of being
peeking in.
suggested that you're protecting sex traffickers?
Are you trying to twist words?
No, I
Just-
couldn't understand what you said.
I'm just saying, from what I've seen, as far as being and working with the FBI for 8 years, that what you're accusing is not what I'm saying. So I know you might have the argument of like maybe it's taking place at other locations. You know, these things you're talking about.
The sex
But-
trafficking?
I don't believe any of that's going on. That's
You
what
don't
I'm saying.
believe the
I don't
Epstein
believe
files
it.
exist?
No. So I
You don't. You're an FBI agent. You
No,
said
no, hold on a
8
second.
years, and you don't believe the
No,
Epstein files
no,
exist?
the sex trafficking. So I don't want you to take our silence when you're saying these things as us saying, "Oh yeah, we agree." With
I think what you
I
just
do not
said is a
agree.
lot, condemns the FBI a lot more. That you disagree with the impression of all of America that Trump's a sex trafficker. He's trying to kidnap babies next
No,
for
I
his
don't
sex
believe it.
trafficking. You don't believe
I
that
don't
because you're a
believe it.
Trumper. You support Trump.
No, I'm just telling you, I don't believe in that because I've not seen any evidence of that being the case.
Wow. I mean, maybe you didn't redact the files personally, but you haven't
And like I
talked
said,
to your
I'm just offering
coworkers.
my view, just from what I've seen. Okay, for what it's worth.
Why? I don't. Your smirk is a little bit
I'm
disconcerting.
He's just in the
I'm
sun.
not.
He's not
Yeah,
trying to. He's
I'm
not
squinting because the
insulting.
sun's right in my eyes.
I'm sorry. I didn't get anything from your contribution to this conversation other than
Well, we can rewatch
I
it
don't
later
want the
and listen to what
FBI
I'm
to
saying.
be seen as protecting the pedophiles that they're obviously protecting.
But how,
To the American people, it's obvious that y'all are protecting pedophiles.
not that I want to go down a road of debating with you, but actually, go ahead and stop right there. I don't want to go down.
Thank you. I don't either. It's a disgusting topic, and people that are not sensitive to it and pretend to be sensitive to it. I mean, AOC pretends to be
Okay.
sensitive to
So, Andrew, I'm
the
just gonna-
genocide in Gaza, but she
Andrew.
shames people protesting the sale of illegal Palestinian lands. You
Andrew.
can't trust AOC.
Just so
You
we
can't
can-
trust
just so we
anybody.
can wrap this conversation up and we don't have
I
to keep going.
appreciate that.
There's just one more. I mean, there's a couple statements, and like I said, y'all making fun of Joe Biden when we're about to hunt all you motherfuckers down. And all you MAGAs are put on notice. We are hunting all you motherfuckers down. I just want to make sure that like you're not going to be a threat to other people. Like this is our main concern.
No,
Obviously,
you
you're
can tell
allowed
I'm
to
a
say-
nice person who
Okay.
does not support violence. I do
Well,
want to
I'm
warn
gonna
people that when they
counter
push
that
people
is
too
that
far.
It's not that you don't support violence because you talk about violence a lot. So you just
No, I don't
yourself-
support
You
violence.
just yourself are not going to be violent. That's
No,
what
I don't think people should be violent. I don't encourage people to be violent.
Okay.
But when you're not applying the law, the reason why in the West, we're in the West now, they don't have an effective sheriff applying the law, a posse forms. They're going to push people into violence by being continuously violent. It's the discussion now, like between peaceful protest and nonviolent protest. Nonviolent protest can still be disruptive and not necessarily peaceful. And I believe in nonviolent protest. I'm just saying you have a lot of people, including Trump's base, are the most terroristic demographic in America. And they're going to turn on him for not turning over the Epstein files, if nothing else. They're going to turn on him for this or that. They're going to end up killing Trump or Trump supporters. It's going to get more violent.
Okay. So
Like,
you're just saying
if
this
we
as
had
a
stopped
statement,
these
but you're
people
not
before,
saying-
we would have Pope Francis, we would have Renee Good, we would have thousands of Iranians, like lots of other people. We need to stop them because the violence is increasing. Everyone can tell. And yeah, I'm opposed to violence, but I can also see that violence becomes the response to increasing violence. And nobody's stopping him in any other fashion. So I'm not advocating that, but I am reminding people war makes more war, violence makes more violence. Only peace wins. And if you can scare people who have been because again, if you see my audience is a bunch of trolls and Nazis. They brag about being pedophiles. I don't know why you guys are here. When they brag about being pedophiles, they brag about being Nazis.
Well, I'll tell you why we're here. We're here because somebody
But I'm saying, why
reported you.
don't the
So,
people?
I understand. So
I report them to YouTube.
Well,
I'm glad somebody reported me. They're paying that much attention.
Okay. So here's the thing. So it's just the fact is that we're here because somebody asked us to come out here because they thought some of your content was concerning. All I can say to you is that you are allowed to say whatever you would like online, but you have repercussions
you.
of that. Some of those repercussions are
For
going to
how
be
long?
a visit from one of us potentially. Okay, so just so you're
I
aware of
appreciate
that.
knowing you guys are here,
So,
especially now that their attempts to dox me have
okay.
been confirmed, I
So,
guess.
just keep that in mind in the future when you go live
Let's
online
see
or
if
you
they've
go
done it
online
here.
and you make some comments. You have to pay attention to what you're saying, otherwise you're going to get another visit from us. Okay.
I don't
just
mind
be aware
seeing
of
you
it.
guys. I
Okay.
can always assure you that I have no ill intentions towards anyone. I'm not a
Okay.
violent person, and I appreciate your concern
Perfect.
for people that are.
I do have to ask you a couple personal questions, and
Of course.
if you're live on the internet, I don't know if you want to stay live or if you want to.
I can mute
or
it, sure.
something. Okay. So I just want to clarify.
Well, give me just a second. Let me find the
Yep, not a
button. I'm so
problem.
sorry.
To be cautious of how you say things and what you say, just so people are reading into it and they're listening to everything you're saying. So this is, like I said, this is the second time that you've been recorded to us. So we had to come out and have a conversation.
Well, and when you read those things back, I'm not proud of having said those things. I'm not proud of getting that upset about stuff. I don't.
And I've seen plenty of your videos to know that you do this quite frequently. Okay.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's not,
I'm going to be doing it until he's gone.
Okay.
Just
be aware. Just be aware of
Yeah.
what you're saying and how you're saying it. There's
I mean, I think that
words
could be a few weeks because I think we should remove him under the 25th Amendment or impeach
Okay.
him.
You
But
can,
yeah,
you can speak your mind. Just
Thank
be
you.
aware that there's repercussions of that and that it might counter or might interact with us again or something along those lines. And make sure that you're well aware that there's also a thing called an interstate threat, and that is if you make a statement that is valued as a threat, you can get charged federally with that. So just so you have that
when
in
you said
mind.
interstate, is that because it can? When you said interstate, is that something? I'm just worried
It's
about for
because
my
it's
trolls.
online.
For my trolls who
It's
are online,
online,
who are
yes, sir.
threatening me, certainly not from Colorado or even America. There's an extra layer to the fact that that's a threat.
So it could potentially
crossing
be
lines.
a federal crime, yes, sir.
Okay.
If it's within the parameters of all of that, and that would have to be, we'd have to look into that. But like I said, for your doxing and all the stuff that you have experienced, I'm sorry that is happening.
Thank you.
I need you to, if you would gather the information and that kind of stuff, and you can take it to the local department and chat with them. But it needs to be reported as it's happening. Otherwise, it's going to be a huge report when you walk over to them, and that can be kind of, some of the facts can get lost and kind of be convoluted. If I walked up to you with 14 years of paperwork and was like, here, help me out, that's a lot. So try to report them as it's apparent. And if you're not reporting it, I can't help you. No one can help
That
you
makes
if you're
sense.
not reporting it. Does that make
That
sense?
makes sense to report it. I again apologize that if I haven't been pleasant enough for this conversation, because I have a feeling I'll be seeing y'all again soon. Not here, but at your
Well, I
office,
hope not.
because I want to go to your office and get this taken care of.
Well, there's nothing else for you to take care of, sir.
No, I mean
This is our
my
yes.
my
You can-
harassment.
You can go to Lakewood and
I'm going to
talk
give you
with
some
them.
contact information. I'm the Lakewood Police. Here's my card.
Thank you.
Why don't you give me a call anytime as early as today? We can talk about kind of next steps.
I appreciate that.
Okay?
And I'm sorry I've let it go so long, and that it's partly from distrust, not from distrust of the police in general, but distrust of the culture that seems to say, hey, let's protect these guys. Let's not let any consequences
You've got my
happen to them.
contact information. We'll discuss kind of next steps.
Thank
okay?
you. I'm sorry to make y'all come out, and I will talk nicer online. I will avoid these things
I
because
would appreciate that.
I
That
don't-
make my job easier.
I don't want to contribute to any. I'm anti-violence, but I cannot stand the levels of violence they perpetrate on us, and
I get your
knowing that
opinion. I
someone's
get where
going to
you're coming
react.
from, and you have your viewpoint. So maybe don't post everything live. Maybe post a video, maybe create a video, and make sure you're saying what you want to truly say before you post it on the internet. Because once it's out there on the internet, like I said,
Yeah, I also
are
believe in the
watching
Holy
you.
Spirit, and I have to say what I have to say. But I certainly appreciate that advice, and I respect your
mainly I just don't
respect
wanna
your
keep coming out and
guardrails.
having to keep
I don't
having
want that either.
conversation.
I don't want to give these people the idea that they have some justified criticism of me, because I'm just standing up for America as I understand it, our principles, Jesus, like I
And that's
mentioned,
perfect. You're allowed to do that.
and
you're allowed.
I will steer further away from any sort of violence because.
Like I said, just if
Yeah.
you're gonna post a video explaining your opinion and you start getting down that violent path, and even just think about it, stop the video, and then come back to the conversation when you're in a good headspace and you can talk rationally about it.
And in general, I need to not be angry because
Yes,
anger is
that's definitely
a
a
mind
good
virus.
option.
So
With that being
sorry.
said, we have Susie
Yes.
here.
Hi, Susie.
Hi, I'm Susie.
Thank
I'm
you.
the case manager, and I work with Brian actually at Lakewood.
This Brian.
Yep.
Okay.
This-
Thank you.
Sorry. So
Just
I'm
wanna make
just
sure.
here really for any support, any resources that you might need. And
Thank you.
Like Heather said, your opinion matters, and we just want to make sure that you have an outlet where maybe not just online, but you have someone to speak to. And if the doxing and stuff like that is happening, I do have police officers on my team. And
Well,
so
thank
we,
you.
We do this. We go out in the community and kind of see how our folks are doing, what you need. Yeah, you can reach out to us. I didn't bring my business card today. Sorry.
That's okay. I'll
Yeah.
You can
make
contact me.
contact. Yeah.
In touch with Susie too.
Yeah. So other than your son, is there others that you do have for support, some kind of support net?
Yeah. I mean, I've got some friends and family. So
Speak freely to.
yeah, like the stuff you guys see, because my channel has been trolled by Nazis and pedophiles who blatantly, brazenly brag about being Nazis and pedophiles for years, and that gets on your nerves, and they all identify as MAGA, and they're all very proud about it. And the other ones who are less proud, who don't accept that Trump's a pedophile, who don't accept that he's a terrorist and a traitor, those ones have no problems with the ones who are very open about being pedophiles. So it really beggars belief that people with this much evidence against their sex trafficking rings, and it reminds me of some paramedics who threatened my brother-in-law because he was a drunk. He was in a wheelchair, and he kept being drunk. He kept being in a wheelchair, and they said, "We're going to kill you if we find you out here again," because they didn't like doing their job and picking up. So yeah, I have some animosity towards people, even in our local agencies, who will kill because they have the power to, who will protect killers because they have the power to, and protect pedophiles because they just choose not to believe it because their cognitive dissonance is so bad that even Jesus himself won't break through to
Okay,
there being a
Andrew.
pedophile.
Andrew.
Settle down.
Andrew.
Yeah, you don't like it, do you?
Andrew. We've been
I'm
having.
fine with what I got
we've been
going on
having-
in mine. Okay.
Are you sure?
I am.
Okay, that's.
Because you stood up to defend pedophiles
We're
pretty
not,
quick.
We're not. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is where we need to watch ourselves and we need to check ourselves.
Yeah,
There's
just check
nothing-
ourselves.
There's nothing happening. Nathan was not saying anything to you, so just take a breath. If you need any resources from Susie, she's available.
You're looking at me like you know.
Andrew.
You're reading into things that aren't there.
Okay. I hope so. I'm sorry. I apologize if I jumped to a conclusion.
So again, four strangers standing in front of you asking you all these questions. We can always continue this later. So I will reach out to you, have our team reach out to you, and then we'll continue this conversation if you're okay with that.
Oh, certainly. I'm Andrew, by the way.
I'm Susie. by the
Susie,
way.
nice to meet you.
Do you
And
have any questions for us, sir?
I probably do that I'll think of when you're gone. And do you have a card I can stay in
I
touch
don't
with you? I
have a card
appreciate your
directly to
I
me.
appreciate your dealing with me so thoughtfully
You
and
can call
considerately.
up to the FBI office, and I'm sorry, I just gave out my last one.
That's
You
fine.
can call up to the FBI office, and then you can ask for Investigator Fossler, or they'll be able to figure it out.
You're Fossler?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, so thank you for talking to me.
Yep. Yep.
And I apologize if I certainly hope that the FBI has more good people than bad
We do.
people. But
We
my
do.
my
They do.
fear is that they're so outnumbered, and then you get fired if you oppose Trump, and that he's whittling down the numbers, that it's going to be one whistleblower left, and I hope it's you. Or I hope it's you.
Well,
I mean,
we appreciate that.
But if you don't think that the person that everybody in America thinks is a pedophile in the midst of a sex trafficking ring, I do not know what evidence you have that they don't want to make that public that gives you that assurance.
We're not here for that, okay? We're here for the conversations that you're having online. We're not going to get into this, all these other political debates and stuff like that. If you have no further questions from us, Andrew, we're going to head out.
I just want to ask you if you know that the Bible recommends tying millstones around the necks of the pedophiles and drowning them in the ocean. That's just a biblical.
Thank you for sharing.
That's a
that with us.
biblical thing.
I appreciate that.
And
if you have any questions, like I said, that's how you can reach out to me. Gather your information for Lakewood, and they'll be happy to help you out. Other than that, we appreciate you taking time.
I'm sorry for taking so much of your time. I hope you guys can catch some real threats.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you. And I'm sorry, sir, Nathan. I am sorry if I misinterpreted and.
No hard feelings.
Okay, thank you, Nathan. Nice to meet you too. You too.
Take care.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Andrew.
Well, that was the FBI. So, I guess I'll post this video so people can see what an encounter with the FBI looks like when you say that Trump will have consequences for his actions.